That's me. Sorry, I have to excuse this back. Okay, this is about my tour journey basically to China over the last 48 years. So initially we went to China in 1976 on a short tour for 4.5 weeks. So we started, and that's the games, 13 games I think, if I counted them correctly. On our first game in Shanghai in China, just afterwards Chairman Mao passed away. So we had 10 days of mourning, and our next 3 games were cancelled, so we had to train. Right. And then we had 2 more games down Canton, and then we went into Hong Kong, Macau, on to Bangkok, and then back to Zurich and home. So, and as was pointed out earlier, it was 3 years before official diplomatic relations between China and Ireland. That's the team, right? I don't know how many of you, well, you can look out for me to show you in a minute, but in the middle on the bottom, tall chap with the blonde hair is David Andrews. At that point, he was 41, and he'd been a TD for 11 years at that point. First elected to Dáil in 1965, when he was 30. Next 2 down from him is Tony O'Neill, who was our manager, who later became the General Secretary of the FAI. Superb organiser. This was one, I'd say, about 6 tours that he did organise, but this was special. And if you haven't worked it out, that's not So there was lots of mourning after Chairman Mao passed, and this is us queuing to go into Chairman Mao's home, where he was born and reared, and this is in one of the many gatherings of mourning and support. Go back one. This photograph was taken in front of Chairman Mao's birthplace. So we were in Hunan province 2 days after he passed away. That's me in Tiananmen Square in 1976. And that's me in Tiananmen Square in 2008. So I was back in Tiananmen Square in 2008 for the Olympics, because my daughter participated. So, yes, changed not much in that particular photograph. This was Tiananmen Square as it was presented to the public during the Olympics. Spectacular. And the bird's nest everybody knows now, by day and by night, and you might have forgotten the swimming pool. Which again, if you have a video of it, the light changing was again quite spectacular. But the main thing about China is the people. Very friendly. During the Olympics, in the Botanic Gardens, at the Games, Hangzhou, where we went to visit, and this was in Yunnan grottos but everybody's just so welcoming. And this was in Xi'an. See? But as I said, the main thing about visiting China is the people. They're just so friendly, easy to get on with, and as you said, your new 15-day visa works a treat. I just tried it there at the start of October. 15 days, back home on the 16th. Very efficient. My daughter now lives in Shanghai and she teaches primary school teacher there. Hence the other visits. That's her there. We're in the city, and there are lots of temples if you go to Beijing. Oops. Right. So there's lots to do just in Beijing alone. 15 days probably won't cover it. And this is what I particularly like. I just like this side of Italy. And again, in all of the cities in China, you'll find fantastic architecture. And safe isn't the word for it. Ultra safe. This is the wall, it hasn't changed. As you can see, in 1976 are the faded photographs. All right. Whoops. This was the avenue to the Ming tombs in 1976. This is it now. That's not my photograph. Can't find it. When I was there in 2008, Ming Tombs itself was closed when we were there, so I had to show you that it had changed. And you couldn't do this today. But you'll have to forgive us because we were all 19. And believe it or not, these are 4 photographs from the top of the apartment buildings where Michelle was staying in 2019. All of them on the, so it's basically a 3.5 acre garden on top of her building, including the gym car. So from a construction point of view, and just thinking about it, to do something like this is just amazing. Again, performances just down the street, on the corner of the street, in one of the places we visit, down in the gardens. This, on the far side, is at the Temple of Heaven. Just all people that are singing or playing instruments there. And these performances, just we arrive somewhere and there's a performance out in half an hour. And this is free. Just now this part of it, right? So this is from 3 weeks ago in Shanghai. I was in Shanghai, but it's the same everywhere. All these bikes are parked outside the metro station. None of them are locked. Over here you see the helmet on the back of the bike. It's not locked to the bike. They're just left there. It's as safe as it can be. Again, we were in one night and Michelle didn't have any cider and I drank cider. So we went online and found something online and she ordered 6 bottles of cider for me and it was delivered in 15 minutes. And then outside her apartments there was lots of time zone. There were people doing deliveries right? They had their bikes and they had go-karts behind them with all their parcels. They get out their parcels, sort of it, they're going to deliver now, take the parcels, do the delivery, leave everything else there, and just come back and do the next. Walk down the street, no problems. Feel absolutely safe. And it's colourful. This is from Marketplace. So, it's safe, it's beautiful, it's now easy to get to. I think it's just